Good old days of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, where games weren't like these newer Call of Duty type games where they were essentially carbon copies of each other.
I have had this console.
I've had this console since I was about 3 or 4 years old, and to this day I'm still glad I have it, because I would not be the gamer I am today without it. I will go into a little bit of background information on the PlayStation, and then I will talk about how it has affected me culturally. The Sony PlayStation was first released in 1994. It was designed to have multiple purposes. With it, you can watch movies, play video games, and listen to music. Now, before the PlayStation, you had to get all these different objects so for example, if you wanted to listen to music, you had to buy a CD player, or if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to get a DVD player. But with this, you can do all that. It was essentially it was designed to be an ideal entertainment system where you didn't have to spend like $300 on multiple different things when you can just get this and have all the pleasures of listening to music and movies and etc. at home. This was the first game console to use CDs for video games, because before the PlayStation, you would have game consoles like the Atari, and they could only use game cartridges. The style of gameplay was also different. You would have these screens where you can only move 2 directions, left and right. But after the PlayStation came out, there were games that you had worlds and you can move all these different directions, and you had the ability to fully explore the world at your pleasure. When I first played Spyro and Crash, it has really affected my creativity, and it has allowed me to think outside the box throughout my life. When I first played Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, I was really drawn into the games because I was in these worlds where I was in these different types of worlds where I was able to really fully explore, and I can just roam at my pleasure. And these worlds can't even compare to the real world, because if you wanted to go to, for example, if you wanted to go to outer space, you can. If you want to go to the moon, you can. And you had all these different characters like talking dragons, talking dragonflies, human eating plants, etc. All these don't exist in the real world. And as I play more and more video games throughout my life, it has really expanded. It has really allowed me to think outside the box for different situations, like creative projects for school and creative writing. Now, I've talked about how the PlayStation has affected my culture and and a little bit of background. And the PlayStation also helped me deal with some of the rough times of life. whenever I'd had a bad day, I would go to a game console because I knew that the joy playing a game brings me would make me feel better. And all the different experiences from school, all the friends I've made, and from playing games such as Halo or Call of Duty for the Xbox, have really helped. Really helped me keep myself intrigued with gaming. Now I have talked about how a little bit of background information, and I've talked about the game, how it has affected me. So now I live off with this. Pick up a console. If you're intrigued on what I have to say, pick up a console. Take a Xbox or a PlayStation, and welcome to my world.